Today on Made in SA, we meet Siyabonga Zulu from Soweto. Siyabonga has his eye on becoming a public relations genius. He's already getting closer to that dream by taking a course in PR and marketing. But what he needs is a chance to test his talent, and Made in SA is going to do just that. We'll give him a professional coach who will put him on the spot. But it doesn't always end up as smooth as that. Is Siyabonga up for it? Let's find out. You're watching Made in SA, where we celebrate young people with vision and talent and help them on the road to living their dream. On Made in SA, we like to uncover young talent. Whether you're at school or doing your first year of study, it's your dream that counts, right? Sia is our kind of guy.
My name is Siyabonga Zulu. I live in Soweto and I stay with my uncle and my auntie.
Siyabonga knew from an early age that he wanted a career that deals with people.
My dream is to own my own public relations company. I think this is because I like being around people, and I think every organization in this world needs a public relations department.
Said like a pro, Sia, because many companies need the kind of professional maintenance of their image that PR gives. PR is all about looking at trends and positioning people or companies, helping them stay on top of their image game.
I am studying at the University of Johannesburg, Banting Road. I'm doing first year in a National Diploma, Public Relations and Communications.
Public relations is a course offered at most universities and colleges, and annually South Africa produces hundreds of graduates. It's a popular career. But why study at UJ, Sia?
The reason I decided on UJ was that, you know, when they say that you need to be where big things are happening in order to be big one day, I just thought Johannesburg is where big things are actually happening.
Meet Siyabonga's friends, Ngebo and Sakile. These three guys are also business partners. They developed an online magazine. They want to present to their head of department.
So what we're really discussing right now is like what we want the content of the magazine to include.
Yeah, and what it actually is.
Oh, okay. This is one chance I have to actually tell them, me and my partners, what we have as an idea and actually get a response, and hopefully we were going to get a response that was going to help us do something meaningful about the whole project.
Let's see what your head of department has to say. You go, guys.
Good afternoon.
Good luck, guys, but just maybe you don't need it.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
What can I help with?
Well, we wanted to talk about the idea of the proposal for the magazine, digital magazine, and we've drawn up a proposal.
We're trying to bridge the gap between students in all 4 campuses.
So is it going to be updated on a weekly basis, on a daily basis?
Like, for example, let's say an issue comes once every month.
Okay.
What happens is, like, when we have small information that we need to get to the students as soon as possible, we will tweet it, we will Facebook it, and we will get it through all kind of social media to get it to the students at that specific time.
It's a brilliant proposal, and I think I made it quite clear, but like in real life, this is the start to a long process. It might take a few months, but they are prepared for that because they are going to be here for a while, seeing that they are first years. They can still see it through till their 3rd year, and it would be brilliant to have something like that on their CVs when they have to go and do their work integrated learning in their 3rd year. They can actually look back and say to industry people, this is what I started in my 1st year. First of all, we will now need to present this to other authorities and other decision makers, and then get their suggestions and so forth, and then take it from there.
I think the meeting went very well. I got a lot of insight about what she thought of the idea as well, because, you know, when you sit around with people and you talk about the ideas, which is obviously me and my partners, or the 3 of us, we sat and we talked about the idea so many times. We were actually getting used to thinking between us that it was a good idea, and then we wanted to know what another person from outside would actually think about the idea. And when Mrs. Bieneke actually said the idea was very great, we were very happy, all 3 of us.
That turned out well for everyone. Well done, guys. The dream is on its way to being real. It's amazing what you can achieve with good partners.
I enjoy chilling with Siyabonga because he's a cool cat. He's a cool kid. He's educated, he knows where he's going, he's got a vision in life, and we share more or less the same characteristics.
He's a go-getter, he's a hustler in street language, you know, so that's Siyabonga in a nutshell for me.
So tell us, Sia, where did your passion for PR start?
I think I've always known that I wanted to do public relations, but I didn't have a word for it as such. But last year when I got to go to England on a gap year, that's when I worked for the South African High Commission, the embassy in London, I realized that what they do there is really public relations because they represent South Africa in another country. So I actually said, this is what I want to do, and I fell in love with it from that day.
Wow, the High Commission in London? Awesome! But what did you actually do?
I was working very close with the High Commissioner, so I was setting up appointments for him, book launches and everything like that. So I think that actually shaped my affirmation that I want to do public relations.
I believe Siyabonga has the right personality for public relations because he does a lot of things that are expected of a public relations practitioner. For example, you know, you're expected to be like friendly all the time because you're working with a brand's image. And one thing we do as friends is we just live to make the most out of every day. And, you know, regardless of whatever hurdle you come across, we just, you know, live to tell the story and keep going. And with that said, I believe he's got the personality to go because you're not only selling yourself, but you're selling in, like a company's name with you.
By being on the show Made in SA, I hope to achieve, amongst other things, getting my name out there. You are as big as your dreams. So, I mean, if it's like telling people that, you know, you can never say you're dreaming too big or anything. Just go out there and make the most of yourself.
When we come back, Siyabonga gets a chance to up his game with a Made in SA coach. He'll get to see if the dream will fly. Siyabonga will be faced with a real-life PR challenge with real-life PR stakes. But real life isn't always as easy as varsity. Is it now, Sia?
You're not getting rid of me that easily.
I'm sure they won't. Stay tuned. Before the break, we met Siyabonga Zulu, a student from UJ. He's crazy about public relations and he thinks it's the career for him. He's already working on some great ideas and did a successful pitch for an online magazine to his head of department. But will his luck last in the real world? Let's find out. On Made in SA, we want to help our young go-getters by giving them a unique experience. We know it can be agony to choose a career. Not everyone knows what they want to do, and sometimes actually going out and doing it makes you more certain. So we have a surprise for Siyabonga.
Today I'll be meeting my Made in SA coach, and I'm feeling very nervous about it since I don't know what the challenge is as well.
This is Musa, Siyabonga's Made in SA coach. He is the managing director of a huge communications firm. That is just a fancy word for, well, the big boss. Pretty much like Siyabonga's dream for himself one day.
Public relations is the art of being able to say whether things go wrong or whether things go right. I'll manage how that information is being perceived by either you as a person or as an audience member or as an organization.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
You well?
Same here, I'm good. And you?
Place okay?
Yeah, looks very good actually.
Yeah.
Can't wait
for the day.
Take on the day, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So far, so good. Holding thumbs, Sia.
Sia,
Yeah,
to get it started, why don't we play a game of football?
absolutely.
So I can just show you who's who.
Oh, okay.
Are you any good at this game?
I am absolutely good at this game.
Cool. All right. Here we go.
What? Foosball? At a business meeting?
What would you say a person who wants to do public relations should be like, the characteristics they should have?
You need to have thick skin because it
Thick
gets
skin,
challenging
yeah,
at
yeah.
times. But also friendly, you must be able to network, you need to be
Yeah.
able to convince people of stuff. You need to be able to sell people on different ideas.
Yeah.
So, you know, a mix of different personalities. Would you ever want to open up your own business?
Absolutely. When I finish at UJ, my 3 years, I'd like to go to America. Okay. I think that's where I'd gain a lot of experience and knowledge about the field, and that's when I can take it from actually coming back to South Africa and then opening my own PR firm.
No, you're right.
Giving you a bit of competition. You know?
I'll hand over gladly. You just better make sure you're up to scratch.
I think that would save you time.
He seems to be quite intelligent, fairly articulate. I think he knows what he wants. months, but I still think that he's got quite a bit of searching to do as far as PR specifically.
After spending some time with Musa, I realized that he's just a relaxed kind of guy, but who likes getting his job done.
Let me show you around so you can see it, what our space looks like and what we do here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oops, Sia. Looks like the fun and games are over. What's your coach up to now?
All right, Sia. So now that we've gone through the office, we're going to do a bit of theory, some of the practical stuff. And I know you're running away from lectures, but it's going to be a quick one. Just to give you a sense of kind of public relations from a global perspective before we get involved in our challenge. Yeah. We're going to look at some disasters, people who've done, some interesting things and have incited some interesting reactions from the markets or people. So we're going to look at the first one, a popular children's channel. Yeah. Basically, they wanted to promote one of their TV shows, so they got very excited about a guerrilla marketing campaign. And with this, they created 38 magnetic light-up signs in America, and they placed them all over different places of the city. Now, the challenge that they had is that they didn't put any signage there, so they didn't explain what this lighting sign was. So typically, what Americans do is they go, we're under attack, and people are trying to bomb us. So they thought these things were bombs.
I can imagine.
You know what I mean? So these things have been placed all over the city. And people are looking at this like illuminating thing, and no one knows what it is. So they assume it's a bomb and that they're under threat. So what happens? The police get bombarded by phone calls saying there's a bomb outside my house, or there's a bomb at the bus station, or there's a bomb under the bridge. Meanwhile, it's just a particular children's station just trying to promote a show. He does display all the right qualities so far. So he's a bright boy. I think he's going to do well.
What stood out for me during the presentations is that even small things, things that you could forget at the back of your head, make a big, big difference at the end of the day. You need to get the small detail exactly to the point and right at all times.
So, Sia, you've got a bit of a sense of the theory?
Yeah.
Are you feeling comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, no questions at this point?
No.
All right. Well, we're going to get into your challenge for today. We've got a client. They've launched a new range of apparel, pretty cool stuff, and they're trying to introduce it into the youth market. We believe that they've got pester power, so they can go and bother their parents, and the parents will then come and they'll buy the brand based on the fact that the children have bothered them. All right.
My interpretation of the challenge is that there's a project and there's a market available. And obviously there's a company which has come into the market, and I need to make sure that the communication between the parents and the actual target market, which is the school children, goes well, and then the legal implementations of everything as well in the project go according to plan.
All right, so you'll go about this by doing some research. I'm going to introduce you to a couple of people. We can bounce some ideas off maybe, and then you can put together your thinking, and then you're going to present it back to me. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Game on. Time to get cracking, mister.
How are you, my dear?
Hi, Sia.
You all right?
I'm cool. How are you?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Hi.
This is Sia.
Hi, Sia. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
Oh, thank you.
Good. Well, I'm planning on tackling this challenge by doing as much research as possible and using the resources they give me, really.
That's some challenge. I hope you know what you've got yourself into here.
Mind if I pick your brain a bit in such a project? Because thank you very much. How are you doing?
I think he's got the personality to be a bit of a shizer, which is what you need to be in PR. But he seems to be, as I said, quite intelligent. So it's down to the bullet to see whether he actually gives us the practicality that we need through his response to the challenge. Are you winning?
I think so.
Anything that you're finding a bit challenging?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always up for a challenge in any case.
When you go through the presentation, just make sure you follow some kind of structure.
Yeah.
And remember, once again, you must come back to the fact that you're managing goodwill between a brand or a company or a person and an audience or a community. So just remember that fundamental relationship. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Oh boy, looks like you're struggling there, mister. The boardroom is waiting, and they are a tough sell.
When I first walked in there and saw there was 3 people sitting here, I tried to gain common ground with them as soon as possible so that I could be at ease at first of all. How are you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. The objectives of the whole thing is getting the youth involved in the market. And it will be by young Africans, selling it to the young Africans again. They don't, the people, Zempo, doesn't want to sell to like a broader prospectus of people. I think I mixed up between public relations and marketing at some of the stages. What happens when the student starts just, not focusing on his studies and so on, and it's just all about selling and making money and all that stuff.
Who is Zemboy?
Zemboy is a t-shirt designer.
Why are you even wanting to sell to kids during school hours? I'm a bit confused. It's a t-shirt.
They wanted to sell t-shirts, right?
But hang on, who are you? Are you a school kid? Who are you?
He's acting on our behalf as
a
consultant.
Okay,
yeah, as
thank
a consultant.
You. All right.
Yeah, I think that's where the whole misunderstanding went.
That's all right.
Ooh, this is not going well, Siyabonga. Come on, guys, give our man a chance.
Well, the question and feedback, it made me feel like, you know what, these people are really paying attention to me. They're listening to every word I'm saying because they wanted to know what's going to happen when this happens, what's this going to happen, So what I suddenly realized was that, they at the end of the day, they want to do what's best for me. They want me to walk out of this door knowing that they've given me all they can to help me in the near future and use this information they're providing for me.
What I think you do terribly is the clicking of a pen, and I know that's a nervous tick. Calm yourself down, it's okay.
What I need to inform you of is that you've got another 30 minutes to put together a budget for this project and present it to us so that we can have an understanding about how much it will cost.
Oh, okay.
So can you please do that for us?
Absolutely, with pleasure. Thank you for giving me a second chance.
Thank you.
Okay. You're not getting rid of me that easily.
After the break, Sia gets a second chance to crack a made moment. What will he do with the curveball Musa has thrown at him? And will he get the budget right? Find out after this. So far on Made in SA, we've seen Siyabonga come unstuck with nerves and inexperience getting the better of him.
Why are you even wanting to sell to kids during school hours? I'm a bit confused. It's a t-shirt.
Talk about a critical audience.
What I think you do terribly is the clicking of a pen, and I know that's a nervous tick.
But he's been given a second chance.
We've got another 30 minutes to put together a budget for this project.
Okay, this is it, Siyabonga. We're behind you all the way.
The budgeting side of things, I think that got to me because I didn't actually have an estimated budget I could work around on in my head, but didn't understand really what was going on and what was expected of me. And I kept on going backwards and forth and I couldn't get the relevant information. And for a minute or two, I felt like everything was just collapsing. All the good work I put in through was just fading away for a minute, yeah.
Phase 1, Phase 2. Phase 1, whether it's an information campaign,
Yeah.
you need to have the information relevant to all three of your stakeholders.
All three of the stakeholders.
You're going to measure in Phase 2, you need to measure all three of your stakeholder groups. So you need to make sure that you keep looking at it from a 360-degree point of view.
Okay.
Those are the best strategies.
Okay, thank you. Musa's assistance during the whole process was like, he put me out there in the field and he said, this is what I'm giving you, the skills right now, play it to your best advantage. And he just helped me there and there, but it wasn't like helping me all the way and telling me what to do and so on. He just said, you know what, it's either you sink or you swim.
Eish, Siyabonga. Just as well you didn't see that look.
And then when I was sitting behind that desk and that laptop, and I realized that I have been looking forward to doing this, And then I was like, I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to work on it until I get it right. As long as I get it right, I'll be happy. I've done the proposal for the budget. I'm going to go do my next presentation.
Good luck with that.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, Sia.
Yet again.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
How was your revert?
A lot of going backwards and front, trying to get the relevant information.
Yeah.
Yeah. It brought me so close to that dream of wanting to be a PR practitioner that at some stage of the process I actually started, questioning it. Is this really what I want? I've come up with a solution for the whole budget thing. Obviously, since the project is aimed at budgeting such a small amount, so I was guessing that probably would be a good idea to go to do this whole program through Phase 1 and Phase 2. So Phase 1 would be the actual plan, and then Phase 2 would be checking how effective Phase 1 actually was. That I had an idea of that we could inform the schools the youth and the parents, but all of them in different media platforms because obviously they communicate in different areas. So for schools, for instance, we can start by getting the youth talking about the project to each other, and then obviously later at a stage they'll relate the information to the school. And obviously we as well as the PR side of the whole project, we will be giving information to the school, like probably sending representatives. Also use local radio stations. I was looking at the prices there. Whew, those places are expensive, gosh. But I mean, you know, you need to do what you need to do. So I was looking at probably around about 40 grand for a flash promo, which would run probably 2 days or even more, depending on how effective it is. Phase 2 will be checking the effectiveness of the campaign. So in this sense, we will bring the students, the representatives together around one table, and we would say, what did you do to make sure that you sold this idea to a friend or to a parent or to a school teacher in the most positive light? And what do you think we can also do to improve on what you have already stated?
Really took our points to heart. Yeah. I mean, you stop clicking the pen, you stop fidgeting a little bit, you still do it, but I think it's also because of nerves. Yeah. Good on that. And I certainly think you have a lot of passion for the subject. Yeah. And I also think you have a passion for marketing, most importantly. Yeah. And I hope you really stick with it. I really do. I hope you don't get derailed and you decide to go and be a banker or something. So
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I really hope you stick with it, and you really did well. Whatever happened today, no matter how tired you were, no matter when you sort of thought, why am I doing this? It didn't come across to us, so you really did well. You composed yourself really well. So.
Thank you very much.
I think he needs to spend some time, you know, making some mistakes. It's great because he's in varsity. It's great because he'll get the theory, and that's fantastic. That's one box that you can tick. Second most important box is cutting your teeth. That's paying your school fees and figuring out the environment, which I think he'll do once he starts working in the real world. You've got a serious case of passionitis, which is good.
Passionitis, yeah. So, well thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. It's a pleasure. It means a lot, yeah.
I think currently he's a rough diamond. Currently he's obviously making his way through it and trying to understand it. Good thing about him, he's got the gift of the gab, so he can talk his way out of a lot of situations, and you need to have the gift of the gab in this particular space.
On the second presentation, I'm feeling that it's like, you know, I had just said, I'm going to go do what I possibly can do, what's best to my advantage, and I'm really happy with the outcome of the second interview, and I hopefully in the near future, when I have to do other presentations as well, I'll nail them like the other one.
So Sia, you learned a thing or two today?
I did, absolutely, yeah.
Right, so you've managed to get a sense of what we do and how it actually works?
Works, yeah.
Well, now what you can do is you can take now the practical and you can apply it to some of your studies. And you can see what happens. Well, all the best. Thanks for coming around.
And I'll call you about that job.
No, I'll be waiting for that call.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Ciao.
So, Siyabonga got his taste of big-time PR. Was it worth it?
Public relations is still my life, absolutely. I am looking forward to do public relations. It will take more than that to get me off public relations.
Next week on Made in SA, we meet Letitia van der Merwe, a go-getter from Pretoria. Letitia has her eye on international fame as a champion show jumper. That's some dream. We just love people who dream big. We're going to throw Letitia in the deep end with some awesome challenges from her high-flying Made in SA coach. And there's a surprise test that will challenge her in ways she can't even imagine. Will she make it? Find out next week on Made in SA, where we celebrate young people of excellence.